Hello everyone, I'm the Knife Fanatic. Welcome to another video, and today we're going to be checking out another Gentleman's knife from CRKT. All I know about this knife so far is that the actual name is Seis, and I guess this is the black version. I'll have to check after I film the video to see if there's multiple versions. But let's just take a look. So, wrapped in plastic like usual. Flipper tab only. Lighter lock. Not sure what blade steel. Probably either 8CR13 MOV or 4116. Another Rogers design. 99% sure FRN handles and inlaid scales. Has standoffs for the pocket clip. Not really a fan of how that looks so far, but I'm sure it works. Seems to have an okay kind of edge. But we can check that out right now. Decent action so far. Kind of a small flipper tab. So doing alright so far for a CRKT knife. This is definitely acceptable for a factory edge. So yeah, not too shabby. Definitely a very slim, sleek profile. Very compact, concealable. This would go into a shirt pocket pretty well, I think. It's a little bit long for a lot of shirt pockets, but it would work. And this would definitely go into a normal pants pocket just fine. And you could just forget about it. Just stick it in there, forget about it, and you'd have it when you needed it. So I like that. Has kind of a soft detent, just a little softer than average, which is alright because it makes it easy to flip. Good amount of jimping on the flipper tab, but it's a little bit smaller, so you have to put just a slight amount of focus on it to actually get it and flip it. Really bad access to the lighter lock. I mean, I understand they kind of had to do that for this sort of design and profile, but you've got to really shove your fingernail in there, depress it, and then go for the drop shut. But so far, not too bad for a $49 knife. At least that's what I paid for it. I'm going to go ahead and carry this for 1 week as usual. Give it a good run for its money as an EDC and see how things turn out. And I'll be back to let you know what experience I had with it. I'll see you then. Alright everyone, it's been a week, and now I'm back here to tell you what I think of this knife. So real quick, I'll throw the specs up on the screen. And as you can see, it's not the best materials. It's 4116 stainless steel for the blade, and FRN for the scales and black inlays here. It does have a pretty nice action though. It is on IKBS bearings. It's pretty hard to fail on the flipper tab. But one thing I've noticed, if you don't put a lot of force into it, when it flicks open, it will not actually lock open. So like you can still close this. And the blade actually has to go further back for it to lock up all the way. All the way is 50 to 60% lockup for this knife. And it does have a little bit of lock stick. But other than that, no issues. It's rock solid. given this knife is full FRN body with stainless steel liners. And speaking of the body, one thing I did not care for was a pocket clip, given that it's on standoffs like this, instead of flush against the body. Whenever you stick this in a pocket, it's very stiff, even after lots of use, because what it's actually doing is torquing back on this rather than bending. It just makes for a very stiff pocket clip no matter what. And I really do not like that. It makes it very hard to shove in a pocket. And for a slim profile like this, you want something you can just slide into a pocket and forget about. But not with this pocket clip. It does have a lanyard hole back here in the form of the tail spacer. That is the only spacer on the entire knife, which means lots of flex. Like an unacceptable amount of flex. You can make each side touch itself. I don't know how they thought that was even remotely acceptable, but here we are. Centering is as good as it was out of the box. So no issues there. Some slight rolling blade right here, but I have beat the crap out of this for a week, so understandable. Still cuts okay. And given it's 4116 stainless, it's held up better than I expected. But just to give it a fair shot real quick, I'm going to go ahead, tune up our edge here, and then I will be back. So as you can see, got a very nice fine edge now. Got a good polish. And it slices so smooth, which is better than I expect from 4116. I didn't mess with the actual internals or the action whatsoever because it's still good. I mean, as good as it's going to be on this knife, so not worried about it right now. But overall, I feel like for that around $50 price range this usually falls into, you could do a lot better. Even if you absolutely have to have a gentleman's knife like this, you could do a lot better. But even if you just need a decent EDC knife, then you've got more options than you could ever dream of at this point in time in the knife world for that price point. I mean, you could go with the ever-loved Civivi Elementum for that much money. For the same amount of money or a little less, you could get the classic Ontario Rat 1 or Model 2. Kershaw has a couple decent knives for that much money. If you need something this sized and kind of a gentleman's knife, you could get the Civivi Chronic for the same money. I mean, you have endless options, more than I could ever think of and remember. And I own a lot of them. I mean, overall, just the materials used and the overall fit and finish and structural quality. It's just, it's not up to par for the price point. I mean, maybe this is good enough for CRKT, but it's not good enough for me. So overall, I just can't recommend this knife. if you really just like the design of it and you have to have it, try to get it for $30 or less. That's the only way it's worth it, even a little bit. And even then, I would look into maybe finding a new pocket clip that doesn't use standoffs. Just, a normal pocket clip that you could screw in. I'm sure with a little modification you can make it work. And then maybe even try to fit in a couple backspacers. I mean, that would fix the flexing problem. And who knows? Maybe if this knife catches on, some aftermarket companies will make some aftermarket inlays for the scales that aren't this FRN, that are a nicer material, a nicer fit and finish. You never know. But as it sits right now, for around $50 like it normally is, I cannot recommend this. Alright everyone, that's going to do it for this video. I'm the Knife Fanatic, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay bladed.